The restaurant was too fancy. That was the first thing Ryan Mitchell noticed when he walked through the glass doors. Crystal chandeliers, white tablecloths, waiters in crisp black vests carrying wine bottles like they were newborns. His sister had picked this place, set up the whole thing. Come on, Ryan. You need to get back out there. It has been 3 years. His daughter Emma needs to see you happy, so here he was, 34 years old, divorced, nervous as hell, waiting for a woman he had never met. Her name was Sophie Chen. His sister had shown him a photo. Dark hair, nice smile, works in marketing, loves hiking, no kids but open to dating someone with children. Ryan had agreed to one dinner, just one. If it went badly, he could tell his sister he tried. Emma was with his mother tonight. His 7-year-old had been excited about Daddy going on a date. She had helped him pick out his shirt. The blue one, Daddy. It makes your eyes pretty. Ryan touched the collar self-consciously. Sophie was already there, sitting at a corner table. She waved when she saw him. Ryan walked over, hand extended. Sophie, that is me. You must be Ryan. They shook hands, sat down. The first few minutes were textbook awkward. Small talk about traffic, the weather, how beautiful the restaurant was. Sophie ordered wine. Ryan ordered water. I do not drink much anymore, he explained. Single parent. Always on call in case something happens with my daughter. Sophie smiled. What is her name? Emma. She is 7, going on 17 if you ask my mother. Sophie laughed. It was a genuine sound. Ryan felt himself relax slightly. Tell me about her. What is she like? Ryan pulled out his phone, showed Sophie his lock screen. Emma at the park. Gap-toothed grin, braids coming undone. She is everything. Smart, funny, asks about 1,000,000 questions a day. Wants to be a veterinarian or an astronaut. Or a veterinarian astronaut who treats space dogs. Sophie's expression softened. She sounds amazing. She is. Ryan put his phone away. Sorry, I know I am supposed to be charming and mysterious, not immediately showing pictures of my kid like a proud dad. Do not apologize. It is sweet. They ordered food. Conversation flowed easier now. Sophie talked about her work, the challenges of marketing in a digital age. Ryan talked about his job as a high school history teacher. The students who made him laugh. The ones who broke his heart. The budget cuts that meant buying supplies out of his own pocket. You really care about them, Sophie observed. The kids at your school? Of course, someone has to. Their food arrived. Pasta for Sophie. Steak for Ryan. They ate and talked and it was nice. Not electric. Not love at first sight. But nice. Comfortable. Like maybe this could be the start of something. That was when the door opened. Ryan glanced up out of habit. His fork stopped halfway to his mouth. Walking through the entrance was his ex-wife, Jessica. She looked exactly the same. Blonde hair, designer dress, that confident walk that used to make his heart race. Now it just made his stomach drop. What were the odds? In a city of 500,000 people, she had to walk into this restaurant. On this night, Sophie noticed his expression. Ryan, are you okay? He set down his fork carefully. My ex-wife just walked in. Sophie turned slightly. Where? The blonde in the red dress. By the hostess stand. Sophie turned back. Small world. Yeah. Ryan tried to focus on his plate. Maybe Jessica would not notice him. Maybe she was meeting someone on the other side of the restaurant. Maybe he could just get through this dinner and escape. No such luck. Jessica's eyes swept the room, landed on him. Her face went through several expressions in rapid succession. Surprise, confusion, something that might have been anger. She said something to the hostess, started walking toward their table. Oh no, Ryan muttered. What? She is coming over here. Ryan, Jessica's voice was bright, fake bright. The tone she used at parent-teacher conferences. I thought that was you. Ryan stood up. Automatic politeness. Hi Jessica, fancy seeing you here, yes. Quite the coincidence. Jessica's eyes flicked to Sophie. Studied her with the intensity of someone cataloging evidence. Are you going to introduce me to your friend? Ryan gestured awkwardly. This is Sophie. Sophie, this is Jessica, my ex-wife, Emma's mom. Sophie extended her hand. Nice to meet you. Jessica shook it limply, charmed. She turned back to Ryan. I did not know you were dating. It has been 3 years, Jessica. People move on. Of course She paused. I am actually here on a date too. Funny how that works out. Where is he? Your date. Restroom. Should be back any moment. An uncomfortable silence settled over the table. Ryan sat back down. Jessica remained standing. So, Sophie, how did you meet my ex-husband? Through his sister. She set us up. This is actually our first date. Oh, a blind date. How modern. Jessica's smile did not reach her eyes. And you knew he has a daughter? Yes. Ryan mentioned Emma. Good, good. It is important that Emma is comfortable with whoever Ryan dates. She is my priority too. Sophie's voice was calm but firm. As she should be, Jessica opened her mouth to respond when a man appeared at her elbow. Tall, expensive suit, confident smile. Everything okay? This is Ryan, my ex-husband, and his date. The man extended his hand to Ryan. Marcus Webb, nice to meet you. Ryan shook his hand, felt the firm grip, the subtle power play. Marcus owned something. Probably several things, you could tell by the watch, by the way he stood. This is awkward, Marcus said, stating the obvious. Running into your ex on a date. Small world, though. Maybe we should get to our table, Jessica. Let these two enjoy their evening. Yes, of course. Jessica touched Marcus's arm possessively. It was nice seeing you. Ryan, you too. But Jessica did not move. She looked at Sophie again. I hope you know what you are getting into. Ryan is a wonderful father. But as a partner, she trailed off. Let the implication hang in the air. Jessica. Ryan's voice held a warning. I am just being honest. We were married for 8 years. I think I know him pretty well. And I think that is enough. Marcus gently steered Jessica toward their table across the room. She went reluctantly, kept glancing back. Ryan sat frozen, his appetite completely gone. Sophie reached across the table, touched his hand. Hey, you okay? I am so sorry about that. Do not apologize. You did not control her walking in here. But what she said. Sophie squeezed his hand. I do not know you well yet, but I know enough to see that whatever happened between you two, it is her baggage, not mine. Ryan looked at this woman he had met an hour ago. This near stranger who was being kinder than she had any obligation to be. Thank you. For not running away. The night is still young, Sophie smiled. But I am not a runner. They tried to continue dinner, but the mood was broken. Ryan kept glancing at Jessica's table, watching her laugh too loudly, touch Marcus's arm too often, perform happiness for an audience of one. Her ex-husband. Sophie followed his gaze. Do you still have feelings for her? No, God, no. Then why do you keep looking at her? Ryan forced himself to look at Sophie instead. Because I am trying to figure out what she is doing. What do you mean? Jessica does not do anything without a reason. Her being here tonight, in this specific restaurant, on the same night I happen to be here, that is not a coincidence. You think she knew? I do not know. Maybe. My sister posted something on social media about setting me up. Maybe Jessica saw it. But why would she care? You are divorced. You both moved on. Ryan thought about the custody battles, the arguments about Emma, the way Jessica still texted him about things that had nothing to do with their daughter. She has not moved on, not really, and she does not want me to either. That is controlling. That is Jessica. Their waiter appeared. Can I get you anything else? Dessert, coffee? Just the check, please. Sophie said it before Ryan could. Outside in the parking lot, they stood by Sophie's car. I am sorry, Ryan said again. That was a disaster. It was definitely memorable. Sophie smiled. Look, I like you. I think under normal circumstances, this could have been a really good first date, but there is always a but. But I do not think you are ready for this. For dating, you are still tangled up with your ex, emotionally, even if you do not have feelings for her anymore. Ryan wanted to argue, but she was right. I am sorry. Do not be. You are a good dad. You clearly care about your daughter. When you are really ready, you are going to make someone very happy. Just not tonight. Not with her watching from across the room. Sophie got in her car, drove away. Ryan stood in the parking lot feeling like a failure. Again, his phone buzzed. A text from his sister. How did it go? Ryan typed back. Tell you later. He got in his car, sat there for a moment. Through the restaurant window, he could see Jessica and Marcus still at their table. She was looking at her phone, probably texting someone, probably about him. Ryan started his car. He was done letting Jessica control his life, done letting her presence dictate his choices. But as he drove away, he could not shake the feeling that this was not over. That Jessica walking into that restaurant had been the opening move in a game he did not want to play. Ryan picked up Emma from his mother's house at 9. His daughter was in pajamas, half asleep on the couch. How was your date, Daddy? It was fine, sweetheart. Did you like her? I did. She was nice. Are you going to see her again? Ryan buckled Emma into her booster seat. Probably not, Bean. Why not? Sometimes people just do not match up right. Even if they are both nice people. Emma considered this with 7-year-old wisdom. Mom says you are not good at dating. Ryan's hands tightened on the steering wheel. When did Mom say that? Last week. When I was at her house. She said you are too picky. Ryan took a breath. Let it out slowly. Mom and I have different opinions about a lot of things. That is one of them. Do you want to get married again? Someday, maybe. If I find the right person. What about Mom? Does she want to get married again? I do not know, Emma. You would have to ask her. Emma yawned. I think she does. She talks about Marcus a lot. Marcus. The man she is dating. He is nice. He bought me ice cream. Ryan felt something cold settle in his stomach. You have met Marcus? Yeah, a few times. He comes to Mom's house when I am there. When did this start? I do not know. A while ago. Maybe a month. Why did you not tell me? Emma shrugged. You did not ask. Ryan drove the rest of the way home in silence, his mind racing. Jessica had introduced Emma to her boyfriend, without discussing it with him first. Without even mentioning she was serious enough about someone to have him around their daughter. That was a violation of their co-parenting agreement. They were supposed to discuss significant others before introducing them to Emma. He pulled into his driveway, carried a sleeping Emma inside, tucked her into bed. Then he sat on his couch and stared at his phone. He should text Jessica, ask her why she had not told him about Marcus. But it was late, and he was angry. Nothing good came from texting while angry. The next morning, Ryan dropped Emma at school and drove straight to the coffee shop, where he met his best friend Tom every Sunday. Tom was already there. 2 coffees on the table. He took one look at Ryan's face. That bad, worse. Ryan sat down heavily, told Tom everything. The blind date, Jessica showing up, Sophie leaving, finding out Emma had already met Marcus. Tom whistled. That is a lot. What are you going to do? I do not know. I should be happy Jessica is moving on. Maybe she will stop texting me about random things. Stop trying to control who I date, but it feels different when it is real. When there is another man in Emma's life. Tom sipped his coffee. Are you jealous? No. I do not want Jessica back. I do not even like her most days. But Emma is my daughter. I should have known about this. Jessica should have told you. That is co-parenting 101. Exactly. Tom leaned back. So talk to her. Tell her she violated the agreement. Set boundaries. Ryan nodded. You are right. He pulled out his phone, texted Jessica. We need to talk. About Emma meeting Marcus. Can we meet today? The response came within minutes. I was going to tell you. I just did not find the right time. Ryan typed back. Today, 2 p.m. The park near your house. Fine. Ryan put his phone down. Tom raised his eyebrows. That was fast. She knew I would find out eventually. She probably wanted me to find out last night. At the restaurant. Why would she want that? Because Jessica does not want me to move on. She wants me available, emotionally, not for her, just so no one else can have me. That is twisted. That is my ex-wife. They finished their coffees. Tom asked about Emma, about work, about anything other than Jessica. By the time Ryan left, he felt steadier, ready to have a difficult conversation with a difficult woman. At 2 o'clock, Ryan pulled into the park. Jessica was already there, sitting on a bench, designer sunglasses hiding her eyes. Marcus was not with her. Good, this conversation did not need an audience. Ryan sat down beside her, kept a careful distance between them. Thanks for meeting me, of course. You sounded upset. I am upset. You introduced Emma to Marcus without telling me. I was going to tell you. When after they were engaged, that is not fair. No. What is not fair is finding out from our 7-year-old that there is a man in her life I have never met. A man you are serious enough about to have around our daughter. Jessica took off her sunglasses. Her eyes were hard. I do not need your permission to date. I am not asking for permission. I am asking for communication. That is what the agreement says. We discuss significant others before introducing them to Emma. I know what the agreement says. Then why did you not follow it? Jessica stood, walked a few steps away, turned back. Because I knew you would make a big deal out of it. Which you are. Ryan stood too. This is not about making a big deal. This is about Emma's well-being. She has already been through a divorce. Through her parents splitting up. Now there is a new man in her life, and I know nothing about him. What if he is not good with kids? What if he hurts her? Marcus would never hurt her. You do not know that. I barely know him. Yes, you do. You met him last night. For 30 seconds. That does not count. Jessica crossed her arms. What do you want from me, Ryan? An apology. Fine. I am sorry I did not tell you. I am sorry I did not follow the exact letter of our agreement. Are you happy now? No. Because I do not think you mean it. I do not think you are sorry at all. I think you wanted me to find out the way I did, at that restaurant, in front of my date. Jessica's laugh was sharp. Oh, please. I did not even know you were there. Did you not? My sister posted about setting me up. You saw it. You knew where we were going. I had Marcus make a reservation at the same place. Jessica stared at him. You think I crashed your date on purpose? I think you do not like the idea of me moving on. So you reminded me that you are still in my life. Still in control. You are paranoid. Am I? Then explain why you were at that specific restaurant. On that specific night. It was a coincidence. Ryan, not everything is a conspiracy. Maybe. But with you it usually is. They stood in tense silence. A dog barked in the distance. Children played on the swings. Normal life continuing around them. Finally, Jessica spoke. I met Marcus 6 months ago. 6 months. Ryan felt the words like a punch. You have been dating him for 6 months, and you are just now telling me. I wanted to make sure it was serious before I involved Emma. And it is serious. Jessica met his eyes. I think I am going to marry him. The world tilted slightly. Ryan sat back down on the bench. Marry him? You barely know him. I know him well enough. He is successful. Stable, good with Emma, everything I need. What about love? Do you love him? Jessica sat down beside him, not in the same way. Ryan looked at her. What does that mean? It means I loved you. When we got married, I loved you with everything I had. And look where that got us. Divorced. Fighting in parks. So yes, I care about Marcus. But I am not in love with him. I am making a smart choice this time. Not an emotional one. Ryan felt sad for her. For the woman who had decided love was not worth the risk. That sounds lonely, Jessica. That sounds practical. We cannot all be romantics, Ryan. Some of us live in the real world. They sat in silence. Then Ryan asked the question that had been eating at him. Why did you really come to that restaurant last night? Jessica was quiet for a long moment. Then, because I wanted to see if you were moving on. If you were really dating. If some other woman was going to get the version of you I never had. The one who tries. Who shows up. Who does not give up when things get hard. I was that person with you. No, you were not. Not at the end. At the end, you stopped fighting for us. You just let it die. Because there was nothing left to fight for. We wanted different things. We made each other miserable. Getting divorced was the right choice. I know. But that does not mean it did not hurt. That does not mean I do not wonder sometimes what would have happened if we had tried harder. Ryan looked at his ex-wife. Really looked at her. Saw the woman he had married 10 years ago. The one who had laughed at his jokes and believed in his dreams. Before life and disappointment had hardened her into someone he did not recognize. I wonder that too sometimes. But then I remember the fights. The silence. The way we tiptoed around each other trying not to start another argument. That was not a marriage, Jessica. That was a ceasefire. You are right. So why are you here? Why do you still care if I date? Jessica stood. Because you are Emma's father. Because we are going to be in each other's lives forever whether we like it or not. And because some small part of me still cares about you, even though I should not. Even though we are terrible together. I care about what happens to you. Ryan stood. I care about you too, as Emma's mother. As someone I spent almost a decade of my life with. But Jessica, you have to let me move on. Let me date. Let me find someone who is right for me. And I need you to communicate with me. About Marcus. About anything that affects Emma. Can you do that? Jessica put her sunglasses back on. I can try. That is all I am asking. They walked back to their cars together. An odd truce settling between them. Before getting in her car, Jessica turned. Ryan, that woman last night, Sophie. She seemed nice, she was. Why did you scare her off? I did not scare her off. Your presence did. The implication that I am not over you. That I am not ready. Jessica looked away. Maybe you are not. Maybe I am not. But I would like the chance to find out without you interfering. Fair enough, she got in her car. Ryan watched her drive away. He felt exhausted, relieved, and strangely hopeful. Maybe they had finally turned a corner. Maybe they could co-parent without all the drama. Maybe. 3 weeks passed. Ryan did not try to date. He focused on Emma. On work, on not thinking about Sophie or Jessica or the disaster at the restaurant. Then one Thursday night, his doorbell rang. He opened it to find Sophie standing on his porch, holding a bottle of wine and looking nervous. Hi. Ryan was too surprised to say anything else. Can I come in, or is this a bad time? Emma's asleep. But yes, come in. They sat in his living room. Sophie still holding the wine. I should have called first. This is weird. Just showing up. No, it is fine, I am just surprised. I thought. I know. I said I did not think you were ready, that you were too tangled up with your ex, and I meant it. So why are you here? Sophie set the wine on the coffee table. Because I have not stopped thinking about you. About that date. About how it should have gone. And I realized I made a decision based on one bad night. One awkward encounter. That was not fair to you. Or to me? Ryan leaned forward. Sophie, you were right, I was not ready. I am still not sure I am ready, maybe. But I would like to find out. If you are willing to try again. No fancy restaurants this time. No chance of running into exes. Just you and me and maybe pizza. Ryan smiled. That sounds perfect. They talked for 2 hours. About everything. Their childhoods, their dreams, their failures and fears. Sophie told him about her parents' divorce. How it shaped her view of relationships. Made her cautious. Afraid of repeating their mistakes. I watch my mom, Sophie said. She is on her 4th marriage. Each time she swears this one is different. This one will last. But it never does. And I am terrified I inherited that from her. The inability to choose right. To make it work. You are not your mother. How do you know? Because you are here. You are choosing to be vulnerable. To try despite being scared. That is courage. Sophie smiled. When did you get so wise? When my marriage fell apart and I had to figure out how to explain divorce to a 6-year-old. That will make you wise real fast. They made plans for a second date. Next Saturday. Ryan's mother would watch Emma. They would keep it simple, casual, see where it went. Sophie stood to leave. At the door, she paused. Can I ask you something? Anything? Are you over your ex-wife? Ryan thought about it. Gave her the honest answer. I am over loving her. Over wanting her back. But am I over the history? The shared life? The fact that she is Emma's mother and will always be in my life? No. I do not think you ever really get over that. You just learn to live with it. Sophie nodded. I can work with that. As long as you are honest with me, always. She kissed his cheek. Good night, Ryan. Good night, Sophie. He watched her drive away. Felt something like hope stirring in his chest. Maybe this could work. Maybe he could have a second chance at happiness. Saturday came. Ryan was nervous, again. But this time it felt different, less desperate, more excited. They met at a small Italian place. No chandeliers, no pretension. Just good food and checkered tablecloths. They talked and laughed and the conversation flowed easily. No awkward silences. No forced small talk. Just two people getting to know each other. Halfway through dinner, Sophie reached across the table, took his hand. I am really glad I came back. Me too, I almost did not. After that first night, I convinced myself it was too complicated. That you had too much baggage. But then I realized everyone has baggage. The question is whether you are willing to help carry it. Ryan squeezed her hand. I am willing to carry yours too. Whatever it is. They finished dinner. Walked through the downtown area. Looked in shop windows. Talked about nothing important. Everything important, it felt easy. Natural. Like they had known each other longer than 3 weeks. At the end of the night, Ryan walked Sophie to her car. She turned to face him. I want to meet Emma. Ryan's breath caught. You do. If this is going somewhere, if we are going to try to build something, I should meet your daughter. But only if you are ready. Only if you think it is the right time. Ryan thought about it. Thought about Emma asking about Sophie. About whether Daddy liked his date. About his daughter's hope that he would find someone. I think I am ready. Good. How about next weekend? We could do something with Emma. The zoo maybe. Or the aquarium. She likes the aquarium. Then the aquarium it is. They kissed. It was soft and sweet and full of promise. Ryan drove home feeling lighter than he had in months. Maybe years. The next day, he told Emma about Sophie. That she was coming to the aquarium with them next Saturday. Emma's face lit up. Really, your date? Yes, my date. Is she nice? Very nice. And she wants to meet you. Does that mean you like her? Yes, Bean. I like her a lot. Emma threw her arms around his neck. I am happy for you, Daddy. You deserve to be happy. How did you get so smart? I learned from the best. Saturday arrived. Ryan was more nervous about Sophie meeting Emma than he had been about either date. This was bigger. More important. If Emma did not like Sophie, that was it. Game over. His daughter's opinion mattered more than anything. They met at the aquarium entrance. Sophie was wearing jeans and a simple blue sweater. No makeup. Hair in a ponytail. She looked approachable. Real. Emma hid slightly behind Ryan's legs, shy. You must be Emma. Sophie crouched down to Emma's eye level. I have heard so much about you. Your dad says you are really smart. Emma peeked out. He did. He did. He also said you love animals, especially ocean animals. I do. I want to be a marine biologist. That is so cool. I wanted to be a marine biologist when I was your age. Really, really. But then I discovered I get seasick. So that was a problem. Emma giggled. They went inside. Emma warmed up quickly. Soon she was pulling Sophie from exhibit to exhibit, talking nonstop about fish and sharks and dolphins. Sophie listened with genuine interest, asked questions, made Emma feel important. Ryan hung back, watched them interact, saw his daughter laugh, saw Sophie's patience, her kindness. This could work. This could really work. At the touch tank, Emma reached in to touch a starfish. Sophie stood beside her. Your dad is pretty great, you know. Emma nodded. He is the best. He talks about you a lot. What does he say? That you are smart and brave. And that meeting you was one of the best things that ever happened to him. Emma looked up at Sophie. Do you like my dad? I do. A lot. Are you going to be his girlfriend? Would that be okay with you? Emma thought about it seriously. As long as you are nice to him, and you do not make him sad. I promise to always be nice to him, and I promise to try my best not to make him sad. But sometimes grown-ups make mistakes. Sometimes feelings get hurt even when we do not mean to. If that happens, I promise to talk about it, to try to fix it. Okay, Emma reached out and took Sophie's hand. Then you can be his girlfriend. Sophie's eyes filled with tears. She looked at Ryan. He nodded. Thank you, Emma. That means a lot. They spent the rest of the afternoon together. By the time they left, Emma was chattering about when they could see Sophie again. Maybe she could come to dinner. Maybe she could meet Grandma. Maybe they could all go to the park. Ryan and Sophie exchanged smiles over Emma's head. This was good. This was right. That night, after Emma was asleep, Sophie and Ryan sat on his porch. So I passed the Emma test. With flying colors. She is amazing, Ryan. You have done such a good job with her. I had help. But thank you. Sophie leaned against him. What now? Now we keep going, keep building, keep seeing where this leads. I am okay with that. Good. Because I am not letting you go. Not now that I found you. They sat in comfortable silence, watching fireflies, listening to the night sounds, building something new from the pieces of their broken pasts. Inside, Emma slept, dreaming of starfish and dolphins and a future where her father smiled more, where laughter filled their house, where maybe, just maybe, they were becoming a family. 2 months into dating Sophie, Ryan got a phone call that changed everything. Her voice was strained. We need to talk. About Emma. What happened? Is she okay? She is fine, physically. But Ryan, Marcus proposed, and I said yes. Ryan sat down heavily on his couch. When? Last night. I wanted to tell you before Emma knew. Before anyone knew. How long until the wedding? 6 months, next spring. Ryan processed this. Okay, congratulations, thank you. There is something else, what? Marcus got a job offer in Seattle. We are moving. The words hit like a freight train. Moving. You are moving across the country. We leave in 4 months. Jessica's voice was defensive now. It is an amazing opportunity. Marcus will be running the entire West Coast division. I cannot ask him to turn it down. And Emma? What about Emma? She comes with me, Ryan. I am her mother. I have primary custody. You have her every other week. This is going to destroy that. It will not destroy it. You can visit, we can do holidays. Emma can come back for summers. That is not the same, I know. But Ryan, this is happening. I am not asking your permission. I am telling you as a courtesy. A courtesy. Jessica, this is our daughter's life. You cannot just uproot her because your fiancé got a promotion. I can and I am. The custody agreement gives me the right to relocate. Ryan felt panic rising. We can modify the agreement. Go back to court. You can try. But my lawyer says I will win. I am the primary custodial parent. The court will side with me. You would really do this? Take Emma away from me? It is not about taking her away. It is about my life, my future. Our future. Marcus and me and Emma, we are going to be a family. You are already a family. Emma has a family here. She has me. She has my mother. She has her school and her friends and her life. She will make new friends. She is 7. Kids are resilient. Ryan wanted to scream, to throw his phone across the room. Instead, he kept his voice level. When are you telling Emma? This weekend. I wanted to give you time to process first. Time to figure out what you are going to say to her. Because she is going to ask about you. About whether you are okay with this. And what should I tell her? Tell her the truth. That you are sad but you support her. That you want her to be happy. That you will visit as much as you can. Jessica paused. This does not have to be the end of your relationship with her, Ryan. It will just be different. Yeah. Ryan hung up without saying goodbye. He called Sophie, told her everything. She came over immediately. Found him sitting on his couch, staring at nothing. This cannot be happening, he said. I am going to lose my daughter. You are not going to lose her. She is moving 3,000 miles away. I will see her maybe once a month if I am lucky. Holidays, summers. That is not being a father. That is being a part-time visitor. Sophie sat beside him. What are your options? I can fight the custody agreement. But Jessica is right. She is the primary parent. The court will probably side with her. So what else? I do not know. Move to Seattle. Give up my job, my life, my family here. Just to be near Emma. Would you do that, if you had to? Ryan looked at Sophie. We have only been dating 2 months. I cannot ask you to uproot your life for me. I am not asking, I am just thinking out loud. They sat in silence. Then Sophie said, what if I came with you? To Seattle. If you decide to move, what? Ryan stared at her. You barely know me. We have been together 8 weeks. You cannot move across the country for someone you barely know. Maybe not. But I can move for myself. For a fresh start. For a chance at something real. Sophie, that is crazy. Maybe. But when I think about losing you, about this ending because of geography, it makes me sad. And when I think about Emma growing up without her father nearby, it makes me sadder. So maybe crazy is the right answer. Ryan pulled her into his arms. I do not deserve you. Probably not. But you are stuck with me anyway. They held each other while Ryan's world fell apart and rebuilt itself in a new shape. The next day, Ryan called a lawyer, explained the situation. The lawyer was blunt. You can fight this. But it will cost a lot of money and you will probably lose. The court favors the primary custodial parent in relocation cases unless you can prove the move is harmful to the child. Is it harmful? That is subjective. Jessica is not moving to a dangerous area. She is not taking Emma away from you completely. She is just making it harder. That is not enough for the court. So what do I do? You could petition for primary custody. Argue that Emma should stay here with you. Let Jessica be the one who relocates alone. Can I win that? It is possible. But you would need to prove that you can provide a better environment. That Emma's best interests are served by staying with you. The lawyer paused. And you would need to be prepared for a long, ugly custody battle. Jessica will fight back. Hard, this could get messy. Ryan thought about Emma. About dragging her through a custody fight. About making her choose between her parents. About the therapy bills and the trauma and the years it would take to recover. I need to think about it. Take your time. But do not wait too long. If Jessica files for modification first, you will be on defense. Ryan hung up, called his mother. Told her everything. She was quiet for a long moment. Then she said, what does your heart tell you? That I cannot lose Emma. But I also cannot put her through hell. Those might be the same thing, honey, I know. What would you do? If you were me? Your mother sat with the question. Finally, I would do what is best for Emma. Not what is easiest for me. Not what I want, what is actually best for her. And what is that, I do not know. Only you can answer that? Ryan spent the weekend thinking. Barely sleeping, playing out scenarios. Monday morning, he called Jessica. I am not going to fight you, silence. Then, what? I am not going to fight the move. I am not going to drag Emma through a custody battle. I am not going to make her choose. Are you serious? I am serious, but I have conditions. Jessica's voice was cautious. What conditions? I want video calls every night. I want Emma for every school break. Christmas, spring break, summer, all of it. I want weekends when I can afford to fly out. And I want you to promise me that you will never use distance as a weapon. That you will never threaten to keep her from me. I can agree to that. And one more thing. What? I am moving to Seattle. Jessica was quiet. Ryan, you do not have to do that. Yes, I do. I am not going to be a part-time father. I am not going to be the guy Emma sees twice a year. So I am moving. I will find a job, find an apartment, build a life there, just like you are. That is big, I know. But Emma is bigger, and Sophie, she is coming with me. If we are doing this, we are doing it together. 4 months later, Ryan stood in an empty apartment in Seattle. Boxes everywhere. His entire life packed into a moving truck. Sophie was in the kitchen, unpacking dishes. Emma was with Jessica, getting settled into her new school. Ryan had already found a teaching job. It had not been easy. But he had done it. Made it work. Because that is what parents do, they make it work. Sophie came into the living room, wrapped her arms around him from behind. You okay? Good terrified or bad terrified? Both. His phone buzzed. A text from Jessica. Emma wants to know when she can see you. Tomorrow after school, Ryan typed back. Perfect. I will drop her off at 4. Can she stay for dinner? Of course. See you tomorrow. Ryan put his phone away, turned to face Sophie. Thank you. For what? For moving across the country with me. For being crazy enough to give up your life for mine. For loving Emma before you even really knew her. Sophie kissed him. I am not giving up my life. I am starting a new one, with you. That is different. The next day, Emma burst through the door at exactly 4 p.m. Daddy, Ryan scooped her up, spun her around. Hey Bean, I missed you. I missed you too, so much. Emma pulled back. Can I see my room? It is not much yet, but we will make it special. Together. They walked down the hall. Emma's room was small but bright. Windows overlooking the city. Her bed from home. Her stuffed animals, some familiar things in this new place. I love it. Really. Really, really. She hugged him again. I am so glad you are here, Daddy. I was scared you would not come. I will always come, Bean, no matter where you go. I will always find you. Sophie appeared in the doorway. Hey Emma, want to help me make dinner? Can we make spaghetti? Absolutely. Emma ran to the kitchen. Sophie lingered. Yeah, she is. So am I. Good, because I am too. They made dinner together. The three of them, laughing, making a mess. Building something new. After Emma went home with Jessica that night, Ryan and Sophie sat on their couch. Boxes still unpacked around them. This is really happening, Sophie said. We really did this. We really did. Regrets. You. Ryan pulled her close, not a single one. Over the next few weeks, they settled into a routine. Emma stayed with Ryan every Tuesday and Thursday night. Every other weekend. Holidays, it was not what Ryan had before. But it was enough, it was something. And slowly, it started to feel normal. Jessica and Marcus got married in a small ceremony. Emma was flower girl. Ryan attended, sat in the back. Sophie beside him. It was awkward but civil. Progress. After the ceremony, Jessica approached them. Thank you for coming. Of course. I am glad you are here. In Seattle, Emma is happier knowing you are close. Me too. Jessica looked at Sophie. Take care of him. He is one of the good ones. I know. I planned to. 3 months after the move, Sophie and Ryan were having dinner. Just the two of them. Sophie was quiet, pushing food around her plate. Everything okay? Sophie looked up. I have been thinking. About what? About us. About this. Ryan's stomach dropped. Are you having second thoughts? God, no. The opposite, actually. She reached into her purse. Pulled out a small box. I know this is unconventional. I know women do not usually do this. But I am not a usual woman. And this is not a usual relationship. Sophie opened the box. Inside was a simple silver band. Ryan Mitchell, will you marry me? Ryan stared. You are proposing to me? I am. You are supposed to ask me. Says who? I moved across the country for you. Gave up my life for yours. I think I have earned the right to ask. Ryan laughed. A full, genuine laugh. Yes, yes, I will marry you. Sophie slipped the ring on his finger. It fit perfectly. They kissed across the table, both crying, both laughing, both impossibly happy. They told Emma the next day. She screamed, jumped up and down. Does this mean Sophie is going to be my stepmom? If that is okay with you. Emma hugged Sophie fiercely. That is more than okay, they told Jessica together. She smiled. A real smile. I am happy for you, both of you. You deserve this. Thank you. And Ryan, thank you for not fighting me. For moving here. For making this work. It is not perfect. But it is good. For Emma. For all of us. Jessica nodded. We did okay. We did our best. They shook hands. Two people who had once loved each other. Who had built a life and watched it fall apart? Who had learned to co-parent with grace? Who had put their daughter first? That was enough. The wedding was small. Just family. Emma as flower girl again. This time for her father. Ryan's mother cried. Sophie's parents flew in from California. It was simple. Honest. Real. Everything Ryan had learned to value. During the vows, Sophie spoke first. Ryan, when I met you, I thought I was signing up for coffee and conversation. I did not know I was signing up for country moves and instant motherhood and learning to co-parent with your ex-wife. But I would not change any of it. Because you taught me that love is not about finding someone perfect. It is about finding someone worth fighting for, worth sacrificing for, worth building a life with, even when that life is complicated. You are my person. Emma is our daughter. This is our family. And I choose it, every day. I choose this beautiful, messy, imperfect life with you. Ryan's turn. Sophie, you saved me. Not from my ex-wife. Not from heartbreak, but from giving up. From believing that my chance at happiness had passed. You showed me that second chances are real. That it is never too late to start over. That love can grow in the most unexpected places. You moved across the country for a man you barely knew. You became a mother to a child who was not yours. You did all of that because you saw something worth fighting for. I promise to spend the rest of my life proving you right. I love you. Today and always. They kissed. Everyone cheered. Emma threw flower petals. It was perfect. After the wedding, there was a small reception. Dancing, cake, toasts. Jessica and Marcus attended. It was strange, but also right. Two families, blended and broken and rebuilt into something new. As the night wound down, Ryan found himself on the balcony, looking out at the Seattle skyline. Sophie joined him. What are you thinking about? About that blind date. The one where Jessica showed up. Where everything fell apart. What about it? If that had not happened, if Jessica had not crashed that date, I might have given up, might have decided dating was too hard, too complicated. But instead it pushed us together, made Sophie come back, made this happen. Funny how life works, Sophie said. The worst moments leading to the best ones. Ryan pulled her close. I am glad you came back. After that disaster, I am glad you gave me another chance. I am glad I did too. They stood there, husband and wife, looking at their future. It was not the life Ryan had planned. Not the one he had imagined when he first got divorced. But it was good. It was real. It was his. And that was enough. More than enough. It was everything. Inside, Emma danced with Ryan's mother, her two families, laughing together, loving her. She was happy. They were all happy. And in the end, that was all that mattered.